My name is Mark Chadbourne, I'm 50 years old from Burton-on-Trent. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in September 2013. I was sleeplessness, lethargy. The doctors thought it was stress at first, and then I went for several tests and we turned up with diabetes on the last test. It was borderline at first, but then it just kept going up and up and up. Eat lots of healthy food, pulses, and take more exercise. The normal run-of-the-mill stuff that every doctor ever says to anybody that's overweight or has diabetes. It's the same old thing every time. I knew they weren't going to work because I did exercise, I did eat reasonably healthy. Don't get me wrong, I did eat a lot of bad stuff, but I did eat reasonably healthy, and I knew that wouldn't work for me. And to be honest, I just didn't really pay attention to the doctor for the first 2 years. What changed was the birth of my grandson, and also my wife is seriously ill, so I needed to do something to make sure I was around to look after her, because without me she wouldn't be able to cope on her own, so I needed to be able to just be there for her. I just did a Google search and it came up with it on the diabetes website. Looked at it and I thought, maybe not, but I'll give it a try, because everything else I've tried hasn't worked, but you never know. And that was on February the 29th of 2016. It would be a lot of processed foods, a lot of tinned foods, a lot of stuff that was easy to make, because I'm a full-time carer for my wife, so it was just things that I could put in the oven, or put in a pot, or put in the microwave. Thinking that those were healthy options because it was low fat and it was low sugar and all the things that the doctors were telling you you're supposed to eat, and they ballooned me up. I was way over 22 stone when I started the programme. When I started the programme, I ditched all the processed foods. There's nothing in our freezer. We've got a freezer with nothing in it. Got no tin foods. The fridge just has fresh cuts of meat, vegetables, a little fruit, not a great deal, cream, and those are the things that we now live on. It's just been a case of ditching all of the processed foods and going for nice foods. How easy it was, because I didn't exercise. Since I started on it, because of the things that happened with my wife, I haven't had a chance to exercise. We'd used to go swimming probably twice a week, and we had to stop because that was affecting her heart, and I used to go cycling or running. But I've not really been able to do those, and so all of my weight loss has come from the low carb programme. It's not come from any form of exercise whatsoever, and that's the surprising thing to me, that okay, I've still got a little bit that could probably come off with exercise, but people can lose 8 stone without exercise if they put a little bit of thought into it about what they're eating and really want to do it. Rich tea biscuits. I just can't give up rich tea biscuits. Even to this day, I'll go shopping, oh, no I don't want any, or I'll just have a packet. And that's it. That is the hardest thing that I've had to do, is giving up rich tea biscuits. Everything else has been pretty easy because you're not hungry on the low carb programme. You have your breakfast, you have your lunch, you have your evening meal, and you're not really hungry between. And if you are hungry, you have a little, piece of cheese or pork scratchings or something like that, and that'll tide you over. At first, I thought it was a strange one, and still think it is strange in a way, but it's more of a way of life than a fad diet, if you could call it a fad diet, because it's not. It's just a way of life. Right, let's go. I have lost 8 stone just over since February, so what's that, 10 months. I'm no longer type 2 diabetic. Well, I'm out of the diabetic range, let's put it that way. My cholesterol has gone down from 5.8 to 2.1. My sugar is now steady at 5. My blood pressure is around 108, over 50, over 55 I think it was. So all my, looking at it medically, I'm healthy-ish. Whereas before, I had 22, 23 stone, blood pressure was high, I was on blood pressure tablets, I had high cholesterol. It was, all of these things have just gone just because looking after myself a little, not necessarily looking after myself, eating the right stuff at the right times. I started off, I was doing it on my own, but it's transgressed onto my wife slightly because she has what I have. My wife's got lots of other medical conditions, kidney failure, heart disease, and it's helped her a lot because there's a lot of her problems have been made better and in a couple of cases eradicated, all because we've just stopped with the processed foods and just gone onto the low carb program. Hers is slightly different because we have to pay attention to her different dietary requirements, but she's along with me and eating just about everything I eat. Really, really simple, just peppered chicken with vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower. That is my favourite, that is my go-to meal. If I ever want something, that's it, just a peppered chicken. Not really, no. I don't stick to the recipes rigidly. Like I say, everything that I cook is very simple. Simply because of what my wife can eat. I'm not going to do 2 different kinds of chicken, one will do. So everything's really simple. I'll just cook one meal for both of us and make sure that it works for her dietary requirements and the low carb program as well. Don't give up. Don't weigh yourself every day. What else could I say? Save up for new clothes because it's going to cost you an absolute fortune.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really, an absolute fortune.